Daf Yomi, Tractate Zevachim, page 67a on the top of the page. Amar lo Rabbi Eliezer, v'ha'arei kodshei kodashim, sheshachatan medarim ushchatan, l'shem kodshim kalim yuchichu, sheken shina shemal medavar shein bo ve'ilo, u'me'em avato atid ma Rabbi Eliezer said to him, the case of offerings of the most sacred order that one slaughtered in the south of the temple courtyard and slaughtered for the sake of offerings of lesser sanctity will prove that the fact that one changed the offering's designation to an item that is not subject to the halachot of misuse is not a relevant factor. As in this case, one changed the designation to an item that is not subject to the halachot of misuse, and nevertheless one is liable for misusing them. You too should not be puzzled about the burnt offering concerning which, even though one changed its designation to an item that is not subject to the halachot of misuse, the halacha is that one would be liable for misusing it. Amar lo Rabbi Yehoshua lo imamarto v'kodshei kodashim sheshachatan b'daram ushchatan l'shem kodshim kalim sheken shina et shemam l'davar sheyesh bo isur V'heter tomar be'oilo sheshina shema l'davar shekol heter. Rabbi Yehoshua said to him, no, that is no proof. As if you said with regard to offerings of the most sacred order that one slaughtered in the south of the temple courtyard and slaughtered them for the sake of offerings of lesser sanctity, that one is liable for misusing them. That is reasonable. The reason is that one who slaughtered them changed their designation to an item for which there are both prohibited and permitted elements as offerings of lesser sanctity. Although one is not liable for misuse of their flesh after the blood is sprinkled, one is liable for misuse of the portions consumed on the altar. Would you say the halacha is the same in the case of a burnt offering for which one changed its designation to an item that is permitted in its entirety, meaning a burnt sin offering which is eaten by the priests and none of it is burned on the altar? Okay, that was the Mishnah. Now the Talmud, now the Gemara. The Talmud portion. The portion of Talmud. The portion of Talmud. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Tanya, we learned the Braise. We learned the Braise. I'm going to do this. Yehoshua, Shem Shacham Shalom, Shem Shalom, Yehoshua, Shem Shalom. Mo'alin bo yaf'ata. Al titma al haola she'af al pi sheshina et shema shimalo ba. Discussion between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yehoshua is taught in a Braita where it is recounted in greater detail. Rabbi Eliezer said to Rabbi Yehoshua, the case of a guilt offering that one slaughtered in the north of the temple courtyard for the sake of a peace offering will prove my point, as here, the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation to an item for which there is no liability for misuse, and yet one is liable for misusing it. And you, too, should not be puzzled about the burnt offering that was sacrificed as a sin offering, concerning which, even though the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation to an item for which there is no liability for misuse, the halacha is that one is liable for misusing it. Amar lo Rabbi Yehoshua lo אם אמרת באשם שמשנה את שמו, לא שינה את מקומו, תאמר בעולה ששינה את שמה ושינה את מקומה. Rabbi Yehoshua said to him, no, if you say that this is the halacha with regard to a guilt offering sacrifice as a peace offering, as although the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation, he still did not change its location but sacrificed it in the north of the temple courtyard, which is the appropriate location for both guilt offerings and peace offerings. Shall you also say that this is the halacha with regard to a burnt offering sacrificed below the red line as a sin offering, where the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation, also changed its location? Amar lo Rabbi Eliezer, Asham sheshachato badavo l'shem shlamim yuchiach sheshina es shema v'shina es bekomo umo'alin bo af ata al titma al ha'ola she'af al pi sheshina es shema v'shina es bekomo umo'alin ba. Rabbi Eliezer said to him, a guilt offering that one slaughtered in the south of the temple courtyard for the sake of a peace offering will prove my point. As here, the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation and also changed its location, and yet one is liable for misusing it. You too should not be puzzled about the burnt offering that was sacrificed below the red line as a sin offering, concerning which, even though the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation and also changed its location, the halacha is that one is liable for misusing it. Amar lo Yehoshua lo im amartu Yoshem sheshinas shemo v'shinas bekomo lo shinas ma'aser tomar be'oilo sheshinas shemo v'yes ma'aser v'shinas bekomo. Rabbi Yehoshua said to him, no, if you say that this is the halacha with regard to a guilt offering sacrificed as a peace offering, in which case the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation and changed its location, but he did not change its procedure, shall you also say that this is the halacha with regard to a burnt offering sacrificed entirely according to the procedure of a sin offering, in which case the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation and procedure and also changed its location? The Brisa ends here, and it would appear that Rabbi Eliezer had no response to this claim. Rabbi said, why? Let him say to Rabbi Yehoshua that a guilt offering that one offered in the south of the temple courtyard for the sake of a peace offering with a deviation with regard to the offering's owner, meaning he slaughtered it for the sake of someone rather than the offering's owner, will prove my opinion, as this is tantamount to a case where the one who performed the slaughter changed its designation and changed its location and also changed its procedure, yet one is liable for its misuse. Neches Rabbi Eliezer לתלמיד הראשון. דובר רב עדה בר אהבה אומר, היה רבי יהושע עולת העוף שעשה למטה כמעשה חטאת לשם חטאת, כיוון שמלאך בא סימן אחד נמשכת ונעשית חטאת העוף. Rava concluded, since he did not say this to him, learn from it that at this stage Rabbi Eliezer grasped Rabbi Yehoshua's line of reasoning. As Rabbi Ada bar Ahva says that Rabbi Yehoshua would say the following reasoning: in the case of a burnt offering that one sacrificed below the red line, according to the procedure of a sin offering, and for the sake of a sin offering, once he pinched one of the organs that must be severed in ritual slaughter, meaning either the gullet or the windpipe, the offering is removed from its status as a burnt offering and becomes a burned sin offering. Ihachi chatazoif nami shasad malik vasi olam miki malik vasi malechad timashech v'tehevi oilas oif v'chitenu achi nami b'ha amar Rabbi Yochanan Rishun Rabbi Bena'am kachi hatzaa shel Mishnah ma'ilav kachi hatzaa v'tulo. The Gemara challenges, if so, in the case of a burnt sin offering that one sacrificed above the red line according to the procedure of a burnt offering, too, as soon as he pinches one sin, it should be removed from its status as a sin offering and become a burnt offering. And if you would say that indeed that it is so, this is difficult. But doesn't Rabbi Yochanan say in the name of Rabbi Binah that this is the accurate presentation of the Mishnah? What does he not mean that this is the accurate presentation in the sense that Rabbi Yeshua's principle applies specifically to the case stated in the Mishnah, namely that a burnt offering sacrifice as a sin offering and nothing more? Lo, kach haisah shel kula Mishnah. The Gemara answers no. What Rabbi Benah means is that this is the accurate presentation of the entire Mishnah, just as Rabbi Yehoshua disagrees with the answer with regard to a bird offering sacrifice entirely as a sin offering. He holds similarly that a bird sin offering sacrificed entirely as a burnt offering assumes the status of a burnt offering. Ravashi Amar Bishlama Oilasoif Shaslama Tekmase Chatas Lashem Chatas Given the Hachshera Bisivan Echad, the Hachshera Bisivan Oilasoif Matene Veleso Kevan de Malakba Simon Echad Brim Sheches. Says Chatasoif. Ravashi said the two cases are different. Granted, Rabbi Yeshua's principle applies to a burnt offering that one sacrificed below the red line, according to the procedure of the sin offering, and for the sake of the sin offering, since the method of preparing this burnt sin offering is by pinching one simon, and the method of preparing that burnt offering is by pinching two simonim, and since there can be no burnt offering below the red line, therefore, once he pinched one simon below the red line, the offering is removed from the status of a burnt offering, and it becomes a burnt sin offering. But one cannot say that this with regard to a burnt sin offering that was sacrificed as a burnt offering, since the master said with regard to the burnt sin offering, pinching is valid everywhere on the altar. It follows that as soon as one pinched one simon for the sake of a burnt offering, it was disqualified, like any other sin offering pinched for the sake of a different type of offering. Consequently, when he then pinched the other simon according to the procedure of a burnt offering, how could it then be removed from its status as a sin offering and become a burnt offering? Gufa, the Gemara discusses the matter itself. Amar Rav Ada bar Ahava, Amar Hayar Bishua Olata Of Shasad Mate Kemase Chadas Hashem Chadas Kivan Shemalak Ba Siminachad Misheches and says Chadas Haif. The Gemara discusses the matter itself. Rav Ada bar Ahava says that Yehoshua would say, in the case of a burnt offering that one sacrificed below the red line, according to the procedure of a sin offering, and for the sake of a sin offering, once he pinched one sin, the offering is removed from its status as a burnt offering and becomes a burnt sin offering. Okay, we'll stop here. Side one.